Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Gulfstream Park. Beautiful Gulfstream Park and Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti along with track announcer Pete ILO. Really nice day here in South Florida. Fast main track, firm turf course. I guess the big news, besides having two great stakes races that afternoon, one of them this afternoon, one of them graded the Grade 3 Miami Mile. They hit the Rainbow Six yesterday. They nailed it, $218,000 for. I heard it was a $600 ticket somewhere.
Well, they should be sending a finder's fee to jockey Jose Alvarez as he rode that race perfect. Got Ansi Dad comfortable on the front end and never had a serious threat, to be honest with you, and he was 35 to 1.
Yeah, paid $74, and that was the one that put it over the top. There were 3 horses alive. So we're going to start anew with the Rainbow Six this afternoon, but we do have a carryover today in our first race, and that is in the Rolling Super High Fives, about $2,500 in that thing today. There you see it right there, $2,500. Also in race number 1, we have our first of 2 pick fives. First 5 races on the card. That's a 50-cent wager. 10 race card. So the Rainbow Six today starts anew, as we just mentioned, in race number 5. And in the 6th race this afternoon, we end the day as far as these exotic wagering pools go with the late pick 5, 50-cent wager there too. So we'll see how that Rainbow Six plays out this afternoon. But as we mentioned, Pete, a couple of really nice races today.
Yeah, it makes the sequence pretty difficult. You're having to create lightning in a bottle twice if you're going to try to get the $28,000 late pick 5 that we had yesterday. But the sequence is pretty tricky, so it'll be healthy.
Well, let's start it off in race number 1. We're going to be on the turf. The turf course, as we mentioned, is firm, 1 mile and 1/16. Claimers 3 and up, $12,500. 7 runners in the field. And Pete, you started it off. Let's go with you. You got a horse that's I put on my ticket in second, and that is Oklahoma Den.
Yeah, Oklahoma Den was a good third last time out for trainer Chuck Simon. Was beat a half a length by your top play, Lay It Down. There's a difference for me, though. Lay It Down has run since then. Oklahoma Den has had a couple weeks off. Lay It Down's wheeling back really quickly. I was not a big fan of that move, so I went with the horse who I know can keep up with Lay It Down, number 6, Oklahoma Den.
Yeah, I mean, I went back with Lay It Down, moved to the Antonio Sano Bonvia. The claim stretches out to 1 mile and a 16th. Followed that victory at this distance back on April 9th. Comes back, runs second, going 7.5. I like the barn change in here, but when I'm betting this race, I'm using these 2 horses on my ticket along with your 6 and 5. Lay It Down currently on early in the wagering, 2 to 1 on the board. I think you got to go and mix them up in here. Another horse that you use in here, and I like this one because I did not use this one, but you did, and that's Pep the Chant, ridden today by Edgar Prado.
Absolutely. Prado gets the return call here this afternoon on this horse who was second by a length and a half in his most recent effort behind Starship Zorro, who was an impressive winner. He's keeping good form, and his form cycle seems to be headed in the right direction. A run anything like his last 3 races puts him right there. And Prado's been doing very well the last couple of days. Just missed out on a 3-win day yesterday.
Yeah, I just got nailed at the Warrior. Would have had 3 wins yesterday, as you mentioned. Number 7, Kitten in May, is making the second start back from the layoff. They're closing to come within a nose of catching Lay It Down and finishing in front of Oklahoma Den. That was that race back on April 9th. And this rematch, if you look at the 3 horses I picked, sets up another thing between a speed, stalker, and a closer. So everything you want in those 3 horses there. I like the fact that you went a little differently in there with the 3 horse. I think that horse has a shot. He was like my 4th selection.
Well, I think those are the right 4 that you see on the screen, the 3, 5, 6, and 7. It's just a matter of which one gets the victory and which ones complete the exotics. Kitten in May used to be a horse that was hard to ride. I haven't seen him run lately, so we'll see. He used to lug in something fierce. So if he has an inside lane turning for home, he could be tough.
Race number 2, let's go there. 6 furlongs, claim is 3 and up. Non-winners of 2 races in life, $6,250. I went with the number 6 in here, Pete Juguiton. This one moved to the Peter Sorbazo barn via the claim, turning back to 3/4 of a mile. He recovered from a bit of a bumping incident at the start to finish a distant third at the mile. The new connections today, they tabbed Tyler Gaffleone to ride. I found this race wide open affair. I went with that horse on top of my ticket. I think he's second choice in the morning line. line.
Yeah, I like Trugatone too for all the reasons you just talked about. I like Gaffleone at an outside gate with this horse too. He should be tractable from out there. He'll be able to get into the race early on. I used the number 3 horse Carapano on top. He's been freshened up since February, comes off the turf. If you draw a line through that last race and go back 2 back, he's in for 12-5 wide open, running against the likes of Nook and Inky Dinky Doo. Inky Dinky Doo would come back to deliver at the $12,000 level the next time he ran. So he's placed in to win this afternoon for trainer Rodolfo Garcia and Carlos Oliveira, who rode him in his 2 and 3 races back. The 2 best races lately, by the way, has the call today.
Yeah, and he's on the ticket. I also used the number 1 Caribbean Spirit, who's turning back to 3/4. He followed a pair of sprints at this distance with a troubled 5th place finish. He drifted out. He got bumped at the start. He was going a mile. I like this horse better at this distance this afternoon, trained by Juan Rodriguez and ridden today by Edgar Zayas.
The 9-5 morning line favorite is the number 5 horse in here, Dance of Freedom. Ronnie, I just realized something. We've picked 5 out of the 6 in this race between the 2 of us. Dance of Freedom is the morning line favorite, as I just mentioned. He is a horse that is his own worst enemy, though, and at some point he's going to break through with that elusive second win. I used him 3rd. I didn't want to have him all the way off the ticket because I really don't have that much bad to say about him.
Yeah, just one quick thing. You're right about that, picking 5 of the 6 horses in there. What about the 2 tonight? This one has that always dangerous commodity on his side, speed. He's going to be running and gunning. He might steal this race. I think he's got a good chance to steal this race, you know?
No, I'll pass.
You'll pass? All right, let's go to race number 3. So we could not get any kind of agreement in race number 3, and we'll see how that plays. Race number 2.
Bet yesterday. Do you remember? I don't even know.
Me.
Did you?
No, we didn't have one yesterday. It was the day before.
Didn't we?
No.
Dennis, did we have a pancake bet yesterday?
No, day before.
Oh, okay.
Let's go to race number 3. And people are not aware, pancake bet, we bet breakfast against each other and certain horses during the day. And I'm up 2-1 this year thus far, but we'll see how that plays out. Maybe we'll
Not
get
that anybody's red boarding or anything.
No, and not the, and we'll see if we have one today. 7.5 furlongs, race 3. Turf allowance, optional claim of 3 and up. $25,000. Scratch of the number 7 Indian Guide. I'm sure that was on a lot of people's tickets. And also the main track only, number 9, Breezy My Day. I'm going to start it off in here with the number 4, Cat Ride. Now a gelding, stretches out around 2 turns versus winner. Returned from an 11-month layoff to stalk early and draw clear late. To defeat maiden special weight competition, going 5 furlongs on the turf. I want to go back and show you this horse's last race. I thought it was a pretty nice performance here. Going to do something, different today, stretching out around 2 turns. But here's Cat Ride here last time out. And I just thought this horse just kept, you see him here, he's right there, and then he just draws off with ease through the stretch. And I thought it was a pretty good performance. He just keeps going. And, by the end there, he's up, and I think he wins it by about 3.5 lengths there. So I just thought that was a good performance. Put him on top of my ticket. That is the number 4 today, Cat Ride, and that one is from the Mark Cassibon, excuse me.
Well, the horse looks like he's bred to handle 2 turns. I like that backtrack. When Gaffleone gave him a crack in the stick, he responded big time. So I would think that would, the way he leveled off that day, he should be able to handle this 2-turn trip, 7.5 furlongs today. And the one thing's for sure, he'll be on a lonely lead early. He will control the pace if he wants to.
Well, you used the horse that I added to the ticket, my ticket with the scratch of the 7 Indian Guide, and that is 2 Golden Point, who's cutting back to 7.5 today.
Here's another horse that seems to be on the right end of the form cycle. I just hope he's not one race over the top. He won last time out at odds of nearly 11-1. It was his first start off of freshening, but he's improved from his race 3 back to his race 2 back to his race last time. Haromia has the return call. I scratched into this horse. I was an Indian Guide fan today, but I like number 2 Golden Point as well, and the price will be right. He's 5-1 on the morning line.
I think he's sort of affected number 2 Golden Point by this afternoon.
Yeah, I think that's probably true, and that's a good reason for you to have Cat Ride on top of the ticket. 6, Whisper on the Wind is just in too good a form to discount here today. He's going for 4 in a row. Jonathan Gonzalez with a return call.
Yeah, let's show you a stat on Dave Casson. A lot of this is with this particular horse who just wins races in bunch of Dave Casson over the last 5 years with a winner last time out on the turf. He's 26%. He's 53% of the money. Look at that ROI, almost $4. And this is over the last 5 years, so he's done it numerous. This horse has done it recently, but I just thought that was a static throw. And you're right about Whisper on the Win. If he wins, it's hard to win 5 in a row, but maybe this horse is up to the task.
Yeah, Whisper on the Win beat Fanbase 2 back. Fanbase delivered it 1-5 earlier this week. He's raced since then, Whisper on the Win, but he's won again, so nothing wrong with that.
Well, we're sort of in agreement with our 3 selections there. Just have them in different order. So we'll go to race number 4 this afternoon. 6 furlongs, maiden special weight, 3-year-olds and up. Scratching here of number 3. Cool as Ice. And Pete, are you starting it off here with the number 5 horse, and that is Wild Good.
Well, I'll explain why in a minute, but I want to set this race up for you. This is a 6-furlong maiden special weight. The number 1, Sir Alfred's been laid up since April of 2015. Makes a return try for Todd Pletcher. The last time we saw this horse, speed was his weapon of choice. He didn't do anything right unless he was on or near the lead early. The number 7 horse, Stress Test, comes in from Hot Springs, making his first start off an extended vacation. He is very fast, scary fast, but only for about 3/8 of a mile, and then he gets to do the wobbles. The point is with the 2 favorites in this race, who I figure will be the 1 and 7, they're in a crash course for disaster because they must, MUST _ italic, they must, if they're going to offer their best shot, be on or near the lead. And when you have 2 horses doing that, I don't know what you just wrote down.
Must.
That's good. But I don't see how either one of them can survive each other, and that means the number 5, Wild Good, will be sitting the good trip. He might not be as good as these horses on their best game, but here today with the setup, I think he's the best horse to rally by.
Well, I did go with the number 1, Sir Alfred, on top of my ticket. I want to do, talking about, you like to say, backtrack. We're going to show you this horse's race here last March. That's not his last race. He ran in April, but this is the one in March. And the reason I want to show you this race is the horse that, he was second behind a horse called Donworth in this race. Pete, you called this race, and I thought it was a top-notch performance. Donworth, no, you didn't call this race. Donworth went on to be a multiple graded stakes placed runner. Donworth, you know of that horse, and I just thought off this performance, I'd go back and show you Sir Alfred here coming on. It looks like he's going to win it, and he's flattered by what Donworth has gone on to do. And his race that we did not show here, the one at Keeneland, the horse that Speightster went on to win the Dwyer Stakes. So he's keeping company with stakes competition all along. He's coming off the layoff. It's Todd Pletcher. He's the son of Munnings. I think this is the logical horse. I think he outruns number 7, Stress Test, after that 3 furlongs, as you say.
Yeah, I just think Stress Test will take all the starch out of him. I used them both underneath because I think they are the best of the rest here. And with the rail post, Sir Alfred has no choice. He has to use his speed to try to get position. But Stress Test holds the key to this race. If he does what he did at Oaklawn, which is run off and was completely unhandleable through the first 3/8 of a mile, he's going to give the favorite all he wants and compromise his chances.
Well, we'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll show you race number 5, and that is where the Rainbow Six starts this afternoon. Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron and Pete, and our 5th race, 1 mile and 1/16 on the turf, maiden special weight, 3-year-olds and upwards. A pretty nice race here, and as I mentioned, they nailed the Rainbow Six yesterday, $218,000. It got nailed with the horse in the last race and went wide to wire and paid $74. So we're starting anew. Quickly, we'll show you my ticket in here, and you'll see I went 3, 2, 2, 2, 4, and that's the other stake. That's the powder break. I found that to be a wide open affair. Took a couple of little shots in there in the 2 deep. $38.40 to start the Rainbow Six. Used 3 horses in here, and that's the 2, 3, and 4. And I'm interested to see, Pete, how you handle this 5th race this afternoon.
Exactly the same way you did from a multi-leg standpoint. I think you have to use all 3, the 2, 3, and the 4. I'm going to go with the 2 on top. Know your customer. Chad Brown leaves this horse here to get around 2 turns on grass for his debut. He's been working well. He's by Pioneer of the Nile out of the Donerail Court mare. The horse just appears to me to be live here this afternoon. His workout tabs indicate such, and Chad Brown has left him here for a big run today.
You know, we show you stats all the time. I find this stat to be incredible on this horse from Chad Brown. Over 5 years, first-time starters, maiden special weight on the turf. He's wins at 22%. Oh, you know that and everything like that. He's 47% in the money, but he's got a positive ROI with all these horses he starts. Doing this, first-time starters, you know, on the turf, and I just thought that was a stat we had to put out there so I can understand you having this horse on top of the ticket. I like the way this horse is working, too.
You know what's interesting? You just showed that stat. It was a $2.50 ROI, if I saw it correctly.
Right.
If you look at your racing form, that ROI is down to $2.14 recently. And I think that if you logically, Chad Brown has got progressively more and more targeted by the betting public over the last 3 or 4 years, and you can see that in the reflection of the ROI.
And the key to the point I was trying to make is that it's still
it's a flat profit.
It's still, it should not be a profit. It should be way lower because everybody knows the Chad Brown magic with first-time starters on the turf. With that said, we got the same horses in different orders. I went with the number 4 Burr Liner. This one's turning back to a mile and a 16th after returning from a 2-month freshening to run a useful stalk to pace 5th, going a mile and an 8th. But it turned out to be a nice race, a key race that produced next out maiden special weight winners Titanium Heart and Silver Beach. So coming out of a key race, and I like the fact that these horses didn't only win their next start, they won them on the maiden special weight conditions. So they showed that they have a touch of class, and I just thought this horse from those stats would go on top of my ticket.
Remembering Mickey, who won that race, ran in an A other than at Keeneland yesterday, and you couldn't find him. He was pretty far back, but that's good to know the key race angle on the other underneath side of things, and the fact that Remembering Mickey was even in the A other than at Keeneland certainly bodes well for the field like this.
Well, what about the number 3 in here? Smorgasbord was given some time off after finishing 4th. That was a trio of state-bred maiden special weight contests here on the turf. It's Mike Maker, MCL Jaramillo.
That was what sold me. Jaramillo gets on. I'm paying attention. This horse has run well enough to be part of this race here this afternoon that starts the Rainbow Six.
Well, let's go to race number 6, and this is where our final pick 5 of the afternoon kicks off. 6 furlongs. These are maiden claimers. They're 3-year-olds and up, $12,500. Full field of 11 runners in here, and boy, this is a spot where you think you could, go deep in here, and I look up, and we got the same exacta.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I was trying to pick against Go Salvatore Go because I've done that for about the last 6 months, and I've not been wrong. But here this afternoon, there's no other speed in here. None. I mean, and Josie Gomez is a jockey who likes to go to the front anyway, so speed is the weapon of choice, and Go Salvatore Go cuts back from 7 furlongs to 3/4 here today. I think he's better going the 3/4, especially when he can secure the lead in what I figure will be a 7/8 type opening quarter. They have him to catch.
Well, if some of the trainers or jockeys read the form, maybe they say this is the lone speed and someone goes up and challenges the 8, maybe sets it up for the 4. Illusions Rule, who's stretching out an additional half furlong after showing improvement when rallying to finish 4th against Similar, going 5.5. Looks like the extra half furlong will be good, but you're right. Someone's got to go up, and you just can't let the 8 Go Salvatore Go cruise around the track. If someone goes up and it becomes a sort of a suicide duel, maybe it sets up for somebody like the 4 Illusions Rule.
Well, we talked about it the other day with a horse named Vangelo. I mean, the figures and the finishing positions, a lot of times if they don't look like they're in sync, that means that you can have what I call a increased class drop, a class drop in disguise, as it were. And the number 4 Illusions Rule fits that bill. The figures are better than the finishing positions look. So this horse belongs in this race.
I like the fact you got a 20-1 shot in 3rd in there. That's number 5 Pentinent.
Yeah, I do. He has only run twice. Both of those races were across town at Gulfstream West, so he's yet to make his 3-year-old debut. He certainly has the right to mature and improve in his 3-year-old debut. He lures Misael Jaramillo, and if you look at this horse's form, it's pretty bad. So I like to see Jaramillo taking the call. I like to see this horse freshened up. You know, Henry Collazo can win races. He's done that in South Florida for years now. So as a 20-1 proposition, he does not look as bad as some of the other ones in here, at least in terms of upside.
Well, let's go to our co-feature event of the afternoon, and this one is 1 mile on the turf, 3-year-olds and up. $100,000, 30th running of the Grade 3, the Miami Mile. 8 runners will go to the post. And Pete, I found this race very tough to handicap. You did go with the number 3 Amigo.
Yeah, I did. It comes with a little bit of a caveat because, as you said, Ronnie, you set it up perfectly. This is a tough race. It's always a tough race each and every year. Trainer Ronnie Werner deserves to win a race like this. He's been doing such good work with those Arundel horses. Amigo comes back from a Grade 2 try at the fairgrounds. He was not disgraced that afternoon. He has a victory over this course. And figure-wise, he figures to line up pretty well against some of these horses, although from a resume standpoint, he's on the lower half of the ladder.
Well, I did go with the horse you have in second. I thought this was the logical one, and that is the 6 Middleburg, a Grade 2 stakes place son of Lemon Drop Kid who loves this local turf course. He's had 6 races here, 3 wins, a second and a third, and the distance too, 6 starts. He's 6 for 6 in the money at this 1 mile distance. It's Christophe Clement, 6-year-old training forwardly at Payson Park, preparation for his first start, but hasn't run since finishing 6th in the Grade 3 Knickerbocker at Belmont last October. Joe Bravo in to ride this horse today, and I think this is absolutely totally the one to beat.
It absolutely is the one to beat, and you already touched on what potentially will be the chink in the armor is the fact that he's not run since last October. But if you have any questions about him being able to run fresh, he laid up from October to March last year. Not only did he win, he came back with a better figure than he went out with. So he can fire fresh. And, you know, listen, when you guys got guys like Chad Brown and Christophe Clement and Mark Cassey and really good horse trainers, you don't question their idea to run a horse in a graded stake off an extended layoff. They're not silly guys.
Right.
They're conservative, good horse trainers.
Right.
And if he didn't think this horse was ready, he wouldn't be in here.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. That's probably one of the smartest things you said all week. I really believe that. What I want to do before we get to the rest of the horses, I want to go back and show you a horse that we both didn't pick, and this is the 3-horse that day, and today it's the 2-horse, Smoke'em Kitten. This was just a fantastic performance by this horse, and you're going to see it now. This horse just, draws off and in this race, draws off and breaks the track record. Both of us didn't use it. I wanted to go back. I mean, it was a track record performance. Just looked as easy as good. Talking about good connections, this is Mike Maker, Edgar Prado in the saddle this afternoon. Does this horse have a chance to just go and steal this whole race?
No, I don't think that would be the right move. I think the move for him is going to be the way he ran last time. Let's Conquest Tsunami go out and do the heavy lifting and then stalk him from the 2 path. This horse has a big chance here this afternoon. He's one of many that has some upside. The same thing with him, though, is the same as my top play, Amigo. Resume-wise, he has some ground to catch up to catch horses like Middleburg.
Yeah, and Middleburg, as we mentioned, and the Hardesall is stretching out to a mile to the horse I used in second after the Grade 3, stakes place, son of Smart Strike. Honed his speed here with a pair of 5-furlong sprints here during January and March. Jason Service, another excellent trainer. Tyler Gaffleone handle. I think this horse is going to be a major part of the pace scenario after getting zinged up with those couple of 5-furlong races.
8-horse field, Ronnie and I going with 5 of the 8. I don't think that's a situation of we're trying to be contrarians. No. It's just that tough a race.
Yeah, let's go to race number 8 this afternoon. 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Claim is 3 and up. Non-winners of 2 in life, $12,500. We don't make it easy around here. We got a full field of 11 runners, and not to call a race or to handicap the race. I did go with the number 3 horse, the horse that you have in second. That's Road Warrior Max, who's dropping to this 12-5 level after vying for lead. He got collared at the 8 pole when finishing third. Again, $16,000, 2 lifetime claimers at this same distance. And I just thought off that performance, I'd put this one on the ticket, and I see that you have him on your ticket too. I put him on top, but I'm in agreement that we might have to box around in this race or maybe go a little deeper.
Well, here's the thing about Road Warrior Max. He's run 5 times on the grass, and by far they were the 5 best races of his racing career. By rights, this horse has run very, very well every time he stepped onto the sod, so there's nothing to indicate that he'll regress of any kind here this afternoon. If anything, he might get a little bit better third start off the vacation. We've touched on that. We both like that angle. Right. That said, I went with the 8-horse Highland Warrior on top for Peter Walder. This horse lost to a repeat winner in Sunset District last time out, and he was favored against repeat winner Seuss, repeat winner Smokey Brown, and How You, who came back to run pretty well yesterday. I just figured that Peter Walder took this horse last time out off of trainer Phil Serpy, and the horse didn't fire. He took money. Now he's been freshened up. Something had to go amiss. Walder going to give him a couple of weeks off. Try to start over with him. Sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, just a recent stat on Paul there with this Walder with this freshening. He's 26%. But you know all that with Peter Walder. He does an excellent job with horses coming off a short rest like that. I also used the 4 Battle Red. Now in the 1 Arias Barn. This gelded son of Kitten's Joy has his claiming tag sliced in half. He made that 4-wide bid on the turn. He got beat 3.5 lengths. That was 25 2 lifetime claimers. I got this 7.5 furlongs. I I think this 4-year-old is spotted very well in this spot. I don't know what is he. Oh, he's actually the morning line Frederick, which I did not know.
I'll try to beat Battle Red. I'm not a Battle Red fan. Starship Explorer completes my ticket, although it comes with a caveat. I don't know if he wants 2 turns.
Let's go to our co-feature event of the afternoon, the second one, and this is for the Phillies and Mares. 1 mile on the turf. Phillies and Mares, 3-year-olds and up, $100,000. It's the third running of the powder break. We do have a couple of scratches in here. One is the 10, Sweetie Girl, also scratched the main track only. Number 13, Best Behavior. And one thing about this race, Pete, there is a ton of speed in this race, and it looks like it sets up for the number 5, Notre Dame.
I have nothing else to say. That's exactly what I was just going to say. There's a ton of speed signed on in here, so look for horses whose game it is to pass horses and tactically can rally from off the speed. For me, there's only 2 of them, the 5 Nata de Oro and the 7 EB Rider. The 5 is much more proven than the 7 in that category, so the 5 was my top play.
Yeah, I mean, boy, the race certainly sets up, and this one loves the distance. 6 starts, 2 wins, 3 seconds in there. Comes in off that overnight stake at the fairgrounds. Daughter Medagliadoro, Christophe Clement. So how about the 1, Lady Serena? It's a daughter of Bernardini and a half-sister to $2.5 million earner on a code. And on a code, of course, done all its best work on the main track, making its career turf debut. You mentioned this just a little earlier for Chad Brown. First start since coming up empty on the dirt in the Grade 3 Monmouth Oaks last August. Palmetto's working pattern on both turf and dirt indicates this horse is going to run well. And you mentioned just a little earlier, guys like Chad Brown don't run horses unless they think they got a shot. What's wrong with this horse? And I don't know if he's picked on the line or anything.
8 to 1 on the morning line.
8 to the morning line. Eddie Castro in the saddle today. I just thought this horse, if you're looking for a horse underneath the 5, maybe you go with somebody like Lady Serena, who's being asked to do something it's never done.
I can't even, that's exactly what I was just going to say. The horse has never been on the turf, and the horse is being asked to do that for the first time, also resuming from an extended vacation. But if you concede those 2 things, you can get a good price on her today.
Yeah, and the other horse they used on the ticket, and this one is the 8, Prado's Sweet Ride.
Well, I wanted to talk about the 7 first, EB Rider.
Okay.
I had one thing to say about EB Rider. She raced against the bias last time out. If you're Tampa Bay Downs watching races on a regular basis, you'll note over about the last 30 days, the turf course there has been rock hard. It's been tough to make ground on the course. EB Rider was up against it when racing against Speed Seeker. You can see Speed Seeker went gate to wire. They went 3/4 and 9 and change, and she forgot to stop. So EB Rider will be better situated today tactically than she was last time.
Well, the other horse that you used in here was the number 8 horse that we were going to talk about, and that horse, that's Prado's Sweet Ride. And this horse I did not use on my ticket.
Yeah, this horse is 12 to 1 on the morning line with Jose Caraballo. She's a graded stakes winner. She won the Regret at Churchill last June. And here's the thing about it, again, beating the dead horse about good horse trainers aren't going to try something.
Right.
But here's something that I like even more. Chris Block, the last, 45 days or so, has been legging horses up to run at Arlington. So there's nothing to me that would indicate that she would need a race, only because if Chris thought she needed a race, she'd have had one at Tampa already, because everybody else in the barn has had races.
No, well, we'll see how that works out. And that went 12 to 1 on the morning line. And what about an old friend of ours, number 6, Daring Kathy, who absolutely loves this course. 4 starts, 3 wins, loves the distance. Sure to be in the first flight, and the race stock with speed. It's the old horse for course angle. David Fawkes, Edgar Zayas atop this local favorite. I mean, this horse maybe not the same it was early on, but I just thought had to put this horse somewhere in my ticket. And now with all the speed that we mentioned, maybe this one holds on for a share.
Yeah,
or wins it if things work out right.
Daring Kathy used to be headstrong, but she's not headstrong anymore. So if she can settle in, maybe even tuck in, she could be well situated.
Well, let's end the day with a turf race. It's 5 furlongs. Maiden claim is 3 and up, 12-5. We have a gelding. Number 3 is now a gelding. The 8 will wear blinkers. Scratch the 9, scratch the 12. I went with the 6, Waddy. You went with the outside horse. Well, sort of towards the outside. The number 10, Awesome Trom.
Awesome Trom intrigues me. 10 to 1 on the morning line for trainer Dave Fawkes. Makes his second start off of a very extended vacation, almost a year off last time out. So he had to need that race. He took money and didn't run a jump. Well, you can certainly understand that because A, the horse was running off of an extended vacation, and B, the horse was running on dirt. Because if you go back and look, even when this horse has not run well, 7th place run, beaten 6 lengths, relative to the dirt races, the horse has run so much better on the grass that it stands to reason that the horse will now be tighter and gets on the turf and a good price, I'll try to upset the field in the finale.
Well, a horse that we both used was the 6 Watt. He was dropping just a rung on the claiming ladder after splitting foes in the stretch to finish. I thought a game third, beating 2 lengths against $16,000 maidens last time out. Thought of that performance, a horse that's certainly got to be on your getaway super high five ticket.
It's the patented Steve Dwoskin move. If you're following South Florida horse racing this summer, listen to what I'm telling you. Steve Dwoskin horses will continue to improve. They're no good, and they can be really bad sometimes, their first, second, and third tries, but they just keep getting progressively better and better and better. He runs them into shape. Waddy will be better today than he was last time, and he doesn't need to be much better to win this race.
Well, the number 11 horse, do you have any idea what this horse name means? Gulfstream?
No, I don't. I will say this. I was more enthused about the chances of Alsvid Gulfstream until Grand Nelche ran yesterday and ran bad. Sorry, but bad.
Yeah.
Finished dead last in a field of 6 in a race that he was expected to run a lot better in. But Alsvid Gulfstream gets back on the turf here today. I don't know that that's any bargain, but the good thing about Alsvid Gulfstream is he has an outside gate and a ton of early speed.
Well, let me give you a 15-to-1 shot that I have. Second on my ticket, CP Warrior is eligible to show more after returning from a freshening. Finished fourth, a 4-wide fourth at this level and distance. Bernardo Lopez, and we mentioned Emisiel Jaramillo throughout this afternoon. He'll be on a 15-to-1 shot in there. Another horse that you might want to think of adding to your exotic wagers.
If you're playing the late pick 4, the late pick 5, or the Rainbow 6 here today, there's a couple of tough races, but this is probably the toughest of them. You'll want to be bottom heavy if you're playing a ticket, so you have options in the finale.
And I should understand that because I am bottom heavy. So we'll see how this day plays out. Pete, we're going to do have fun today, huh?
I think we are. Miami Mile Day 2016, now 28 minutes away. Good luck today.
What do I love about horse racing? Everything. The speed, the excitement, the opportunity to win big.